Hi, Ruff here. So MMM is back, and I'm I can't express how excited I am about that. Um, I have to say that 4 years ago I was injured at work in an explosion accident, and for that reason I have some brain damage. I don't have flow in my language. Sometimes I do. It depends. I can go blank and I might have to pause, but I do my best. And I actually wanna also intend to make some kind of documentation about the healing journey, the healing of myself. This journey, there's already a lot of things I want to share, but I'm just saying I think that'll be on another channel. So I just want to go over the page, or the first impression of MMM. There's a lot of text. I can understand it. It could be hard for new people to get your heads around what is MMM. It's really it's a gifting system. It's a donation system. It's a place where people donate to each other. So people both donate and receive donations. I guess it's fair to say that we try to have received more than we have donated. But there's the trick is that there's always enough people, new people coming in, so that this becomes possible. There's so many reasons why this is not like a traditional pyramid system. There's no system here. This system is very free. Right now I'm thinking about the old system of letters, sending things in a letter. Like before there was the internet, it was called chain letters. It could be money that was sent. It could be chewing gum. I don't know, something. And then like send what you're supposed to send to these 10 people you see listed here, and then follow instructions, so and so. But this system is very free. This system allows you to give when you want to give, and allows you to receive when you want to receive, and you decide when it's more of the receiving, or when it's more of the giving. It's people's own choice, and the system can handle that. I experienced this system. I was part of this system in 2015 to sometime in 2016. Or it was all in 2016, but I think it was 2015 when I really encountered the system for the first time. And we in the Western world, we were very late to discover the system of MMM. MMM really started in 1989, and it's a long, interesting history. I'll maybe try and speak more about that in another video. Also, there's so many things I've forgotten and I can't remember, and I have to catch up on a lot of things. And it grew out of Russia. It became so big. It grew then into China, so that MMM China was established. I think it was individual countries. There was actually the rest of the Asian countries, probably not all at once, or so that there was MMM Japan, MMM Philippines, MMM the Asian countries. And at that point, when MMM came to us in the Western world, and I really was part of the first group of Westerners that were the first ones to join. It was called MMM Global. So all the individual countries of MMM, they were joined together, and it was a new project of MMM Global, which then ended abruptly, and it was not supposed to happen, but MMM stopped functioning about 6 months later, plus minus some months, and could be a year later than MMM Global really began, something like that. I was a guider in the last system. I guess there's part of being a guider that happens automatically, like this time around, that once you have 10 paying individuals, 10 paying accounts, once you are a guider for 10 individual people, that makes you a guider automatically. And there's, if we look to the rules, if we look to the PDF, there's some guider ranking that can be achieved, and earning that the system rewards you for whatever the people underneath you, what they donate into the system. They're not the ones that will give a cut to the guiders, but the system will reward the guiders because they are the ones that that bring new people into the system, that advertise the system, that see themselves as responsible for helping the new people understand the system. So, but I do remember that I think I was part of, I can't even remember what it's called, but I have some old files that are saved. I don't even know what exactly they are, but I think in another video we could take a look at what are the old files I had saved that I have on an old hard disk, just for nostalgia. And surely I wish that I had saved and documented a lot more from back then, but it is what it is. I can say that I had a very aggressive strategy back then. So at times I pushed everything into the system and really wanted to achieve a lot fast, so that also I could show big results fast. This strategy, in one way it backfired, in the way that I really lost all that every time I accumulated a lot of let's say whatever I accumulated, I started small. I can't remember what my first what my first donation was. It was probably $40 or $80, or could have been $10. I think it was 40 or 80. And then really kind of swiftly after that, I was living cheap. I found money here and there. Really, I was on social welfare at the time. I did not have a lot of money. Life was hard and difficult, and I was in between jobs, living in another country, the neighbor country. So I think fairly fast I was able to have, I remember $710 in this system fairly fast, and then like, yeah, that's good enough. Back then we got 100%. Back then we doubled. When we donated into the system, a month later we requested double of what we donated. Now this time around, it's the system gives us 24%, 30%, or 36%. It makes sense because the system has just started. I could imagine that they're gonna ramp up and we might end up with 100% again, but it's not even interesting to me. What's interesting is that this system is back, and the guider side, being a guider, automatic part where you're earning on your downline, not directly on them. The system rewards you on your downline. That's a better way to say it. That's the I'm gonna show you a couple of videos that I downloaded to my hard disk. At some point I'll bring up these videos. Could be this video or in another video. Well, let me just say that because it's in my mind. I just one video is one guider. She's 1,000 guider, meaning she has 1,000 making payments monthly in her downline. The other one is a 10,000 guider, so she's got 10,000 people making donations in her downline. The 1,000 guider is asking for 121,000 and something in a. These are something like that monthly requests. The 10,000 guider, she's asking for 542,780 something like that is more or less also a monthly occurrence. So really impressive. It's I'm gonna talk about that. It's what we as guiders are responsible for is in many cases bringing new people into crypto that haven't been in crypto at all or in any serious way, or they don't see how's that ever gonna happen. And so it's really nice being responsible for people coming into crypto in a very positive way. It's really nice that being responsible for people becoming trained in making crypto transactions, trained in a very thorough way. Let's say that just by making a minimum donation of $50 in crypto, USDT, this we will let the system know this is our intention to donate 50. The system will then divide the payment up into 3 payments so that at least you get to make 3 payments, like 5%, 10%, no, what is it? Yeah, it is 10%. So 10% of 50 is 5. Then 6 to 8 days later, we make the second payment to another person. the system decides who to send to. The other person will get in the second transaction 40%, 25, yeah, $25 in crypto. And then some days later, 15 to 20 days later, the last payment to the last person will the system will ask that we make that payment to a specific person, and it's the 50%. So by dividing a transaction into three, it's just more training, and it just takes moments to make a transaction, so it's not time consuming at all. Then later on, when let's say that the amounts, they grow and they grow, and or maybe you decide to add more into the system. Anyways, typically everything grows in size and scope. So after some time, no matter what you begin with, even though you started with minimum, after some months or a year or whatever, even by growing as slow as you can, these amounts of donation will build up, and it could be thousands of dollars that you will each month will let the system know, I'm gonna donate. Then it's thousands, and the system will again make you pay over three in 3 periods of time. Immediately you'll be paying 10%. 6 to 8 days later, you'll be making 40%. 15 to 20 days later, the last installment of what you want to donate will be paid. When the amounts are in the several hundreds or in the several thousands, the transactions may be not just one person, not just for one person. It could be, 6 or 8 or who knows, 12 transactions that the system says pay these people. The system knows these people have been waiting the longest. The system knows how to piece everything together so that everything fits. I remember from last time that it's the most incredible feeling to donate to the system, to really make these transactions. The more, the merrier. you know how happy somebody, um, you know how happy somebody becomes at the other end of this transaction, that it's the greatest feeling of making transactions. And then there's the build-up of anticipation that you know what you will be asking for 30 days later, when the system allows you to, now that you provided help into the system, now you can ask for help. And of course it's the greatest feeling when you are the one receiving the transactions from other members donating to you. It's so the greatest feeling, I don't know what it is. It's equally great making donations to other people or receiving donations from other people. It's really great. As I mentioned, when the system ended, unfortunately, 7 years ago in 2016, the system froze up in a way where, I was at a level where my account was reading $13,330. I really don't. It was painful at the time, but today I don't care. What the system gave me back then, no one can take away from me. Not ever. The joy of making transactions, the joy of participating in the system, the experience of making transactions is mind-blowing. It's undescribable, and I think I can also show that I can still log into the old account. Back then we made our transactions in Bitcoin. I can still log into, I think the last account I was using for the system back then shows that I had 148 transactions. 55 Bitcoin in, 55 Bitcoin out, and it's just awesome to have done that, to have been through that experience, to be able to say to someone, look what I did back then. I actually have this experience that I can document, and I might do that in another video real soon, that I'll just show you yeah, this is what I was talking about. I'm now gonna log into the account. I'm gonna show you some details. The numbers I mentioned, the number of transactions, the 55 Bitcoin in, the 55 Bitcoin out, the total, what's it called? The total of there's a word. Anyway, 55 plus 55 point something, 111 Bitcoin in total. But really 55 Bitcoin in and 55 Bitcoin out. Back then, when so it was really big in Russia first for several years. Then China became involved. Then later the rest of the Asian countries became involved. And then later the Western world, the global, the MMM global, it became global. But it didn't last as long as it should have, for whatever reason. And we experienced ups and downs. It was a roller coaster. But MMM was always working, always functioning. To some extent, it may have been like some kind of a pause, some kind of the website is down, we can't see anything, but don't worry, it'll come back. Maybe some things and functions were not optimal or working at all at times, but don't worry, they'll fix it, it will come back. And it's just nice to have a real world experience with something that always comes back and always works, and it's not optimal, it's a work in progress, and but it's like people make it work. It's really awesome. It's there's what's it called? There's a charm. There's I think I was thinking of another word but charm, but so there's a charm to the Russian language and the Russian way forward in this rugged way. The Russian explanations are very funny, and we've already seen this again now, and it just becomes a charm. Like, what? That's not even an explanation. But get used to it. It's just there's a charm to it, and it's the way it is, and it's this is Russian, and it's just lovely. That I hope it stays this way, and I think it will. I don't think it will ever become clean and polished, and the language all neat and nice, and everything explained in a way somebody in the Western world would, yeah, I can accept that, that's nice, that's really good, but it's the Russian way. It's a very beautiful way that you get to to love and miss and appreciate. So I really love this system the way it is. And let me just, actually I'm gonna log in, and because I want to show the simplicity. So okay, let me see. It's fine. Right. Whoa. Okay. Right. Okay. Yeah. If you wanted to read that, yeah, you could just go back, pause, and read that. It's so anyway, we can see that the system has been running for 33 days, 9 hours, 37 minutes. The main thing here is the provide help and the get help. That is all it is. And everything else is just details and making it work. So it's as simple as that. You provide help. 1 month later, you can get help plus 24%, which it says here, or 30% or 36%, depending on if you provide more money. At some point you cross $1,000, it will then give you 30%. At some point you might cross $5,000. At that point you get 36%. Even these percentages may change over time. The system could have trouble at some point, and people decide together, what are we going to do? Are we gonna lower the percentage? There's different ways of addressing problems. The guiders, they have a say in that. The core team, they have a say in that. There's always many different ways to help the system if the system is in trouble. I can't even remember how it was back then. Was a guider automatic the way it is today? And the system rewards you for how much and how many paying people there are in your downline as a guider. We, at some point, 7-8 years ago, when I was in the system back then, we had the opportunity to become a guider who had taken weekend courses, weekend training. I think it was over 2 weekends, or was it just 2 days in a weekend, intensely? I cannot remember anymore. But we spent several hours receiving more thorough information about the system and the history, the ideology, and knowledge about what can be done in case the system is in trouble. There are many ways to address the problems depending on how the troubles. Yeah, there's many different ways to help the system, and it's individual, case by case. What are we going to choose to help the system back into health, into being a strong system? And it always worked. It always became strong again. It always was most of the time a strong system. Really, most of the time a strong system. Imagine MMM starting in '89 and really being there through all those years up to 2016. Something like that. So guiders, the core team of MMM, they are obviously passionate about MMM. MMM is there to stay. MMM is not there to go away. MMM is people keeping MMM in the world as a system because it's needed and because we are passionate about helping each other. You really have to try to be a part of the system before you can understand that this is something that can truly go on indefinitely. Nothing lasts forever, but some things can last a really long time when they are good and have a beautiful function, until there's something better that makes it obsolete, because now there's no need for it anymore. Because now there's something better. So before there's something better, it's gonna take probably a really long time. And in that long time, we get to shine. We get to shine sharing this system, this beautiful system. I'm so happy and pleased this system is back. It's a dream come true. It's one of the biggest dreams in my life that I have truly wished and dreamed of, that, oh, if only MMM could come back. And it's, how does it get better than that? I almost say, I can't believe it, but it's, how does it get better than that? It's magnificent. It's a miracle. It's a dream come true. All right, so I have some buttons here. And I can hide it. Okay, and here is another button. So when I clicked provide help, this button shows up and says, yeah, you are now registered in the system, you want to provide help for 50 USDT. And then fairly quickly, the system will say, pay this first guy 5%. I mean, what? 10%, $5. So this was my first payment. And I'm thinking about that I do show some information, and I have not really learned how to blur some parts. I better learn that. So that people don't become dissatisfied with me sharing private information. So I have to learn how to blur things. So that's the first instruction. 48 hours. You have 48 hours to make your payment here. Then we wait 6-8 days. Actually it was 5. You can see the date of the 15th, then 5 days later. A little bit early. Make this payment, 20 USDT, that's 40%, to this guy. And there's a way that the system knows, yes, you have to click a button, I have done it. And the system knows you have done it, because it's I don't know how to explain it. It's insignificant. What was it? So 15 to 20 days after the first payment is the last payment of 50%. The system say, pay this guy here. And so those are this is my first contribution. And now I have to make, I don't have to, but I like the system, so I support the system. We can look at this. There's a growth here. Growth per day. This is the 0.8%. This is the 50 coming back after 1 month. The 50 comes back to you from the system. Now people donate back to you $50 plus the 24%, which is $12, and there might be something on top of that. So if I I thought we can make, according to the rules, you can make 10 provide help. There's some questions, but this is, let's see. I clicked provide help. It will not work. I'm not allowed. I have to wait 5 days. When everything is complete, then I can provide help again, which I will. So I'm just gonna show you what the system does when I try and do it. So I click provide help. I read the warning and fully understand all the risks. I make decision to participate in MMM being of sound mind and memory. Next. How much do you want to provide help? So we have to learn to make a strategy. Or you just roll with it the way it goes. But I'm trying to maybe make a strategy that, so 50 comes back, 50 plus $12. $12 is not enough to, you cannot say, I'm gonna give 50 to the system, and I'm also gonna give the 12 to the system. Okay, it could be 60 then. Yeah, that's how it is. Anyway, I've decided to, for every time I provide 50 into the system, I get $12 extra after 30 days. But if I give $50 5 times, there'll be $12 5 times. So if we reduce 12 to 10, that'll be 50. So that'll be another installment of 50, which is a minimum. I'm rambling. It's like, it's not even necessary, but it's the way I've been thinking about it. If I provide 55 times, then there can be an extra 50. I think I'm confusing things, but anyway, so I have 50 in the system. I would like to have 50 in the system 5 times, because then next time there can be 6 times. But it's totally irrelevant. It could be 170, it could be, anything divisible by 10, at least 50. 50 is the minimum. Anyway, I would like to increase it, and I have purchased the USDT to be able to donate 200 into the system right now. But I'm not allowed to. I have to wait 5 days. I'll show you. Oh, notice that's the, which you can see in the rules when you read the rules or you read the PDF. Anyway, I'm gonna click next. Confirm authenticity of data entered. 200 USDT. Attention, your request cannot be cancelled. Once the request is confirmed, you will not be able to cancel the request. Attention, please send the payment only from the BEP20 USDT address, which is linked to your personal office. Please send the exact amount as per order details, otherwise transaction will not get confirmed. Okay. 5, 6, 2, 7, 5, 8. Yeah. Confirm and request provide help. This is what will not work, but in 4 or 5 days it will work. Click. There's the error message. Okay, wait until the 15th of December afternoon. Okay, to make new pH. Okay, I'm ready. So I guess I have to wait. So this is my referral link. That's the link we share to build a downline. If we want to, we don't have to. My page, and we can make there's so many things that you can. I could talk about everything almost. So these are our details that some of it is pre-filled, and some of it we might wanna because we are the one to receive a transaction. Let's say that somehow my wallet is broke and somebody is trying to send something to my wallet. Like, if I fixed it, he could, but so it's nice if there's a way for people to make contact and say something for things to flow. Maybe it's necessary. So maybe I can make a better case about why that's necessary. Right now I can't. Sorry. But as you can see, oops, here, yeah. So between myself and the people that I make transfers to, I never know who it will be, and it might not never be the same person ever again. It really doesn't matter. The system chooses who should be the receiver. So it is actually possible to send a message to the receiver, which I've done. Oh, Right. So I cannot show those messages anymore, but last time I was actually able to view the messages, and it is possible to send a new message. So so for the most part that works. So it is possible most of the time to actually send a message to you might want to say, look, I have made a transfer to you and you haven't seen it, and it's almost been 48 hours. Please go and confirm reception, so that I also get acknowledged for having completed my payment. Something like that. So I'm just really talking about the system, which is basically only provide help, get help. That's it. It's very simple. And then for people who want to promote this beautiful system, they can. Or for people that don't want to promote it, that only want to have the growth of what the system gives without promoting it, that is possible as well. So I'm just saying it's a very simple system. Here's account. Right now there's no daily task. It could be advertise the system on social media. That could be a daily task, including exactly how to do it. So this is I'm just showing you it's my address, receiver address. There's the button of tasks. So some task ideas, not that it is mandatory, but it would help the system. If tasks, I don't think tasks were even mandatory last time, 7-8 years ago. But if you do the task, you will earn more. If you don't do the task, you will still earn, but maybe not quite as much. So it's an encouragement for people to advertise for the system. Testimonial video has to do with promoting the system. If you show that the system works, and you show your results, the system will give you a little bit extra. You can see your team, and the dashboard is what we were looking at before. So I can say, don't show this again. Okay. And so the system is simple. And the system is powerful, the system is unique, the system is quite an experience. The system is like nothing else. It's very unique, it's very fantastic. And this is my introduction to what really is a very simple system. And you can keep it simple, or you can do things that are more and more advanced within the system, such as becoming a guider, such as becoming someone who promotes the system, such as if there are daily tasks being presented to the members, it's a choice. So the system will always be profitable, but depending on the tasks, the daily tasks, if they are there or not. But you decide if you want to earn that extra, if you want to do that extra. I think by being a guider, being somebody who promotes the system, that's very easy. That's very, very rewarding. And that's why I'm making this somewhat long introduction to try and talk a little bit about what is the system not, which is also something you can read about in the very entertaining warning, which I will actually make a video about exactly that warning, going through it in details. It's very entertaining. So so this is my first as detailed as I can in this first video, introduction to the system, and I will add some more introduction, as I mentioned, the going through the warning, and also actually showing my old account of my old Bitcoin account, logging into it, taking a look at the transactions, the transaction history, the amount of transactions, and all that. What I'm very happy about MMM will be to who chooses to become a member is thorough education in making transactions. is so valuable. Becoming comfortable with making transactions by force and with the help of a community. It is very, very valuable. So I'll end with that, and see you in the next video.